Okay, hi Anish. So we've got these essays from you. Let's take a look at what you did in this set. This is the one about the T types. So let's see. Do you have everything here? Okay. So the flow chart shows the processes that need to be followed to make 5 types of teas from fresh tea leaves. Overall, 4 different kinds of teas can be made from the initial processing of fresh tea leaves, whereas another tea needs to be cooked before the scented tea can be prepared. I didn't like this word cooked. I think that's what felt a little strange to me. This was fine. So 4 different types of teas can be made from the initial process. Okay. And I didn't understand this either. So let's change some of this around a little bit. Overall, 4 different types of teas can be made through the processing of tea leaves, whereas I guess you could say that, whereas tea needs to be fully prepared before scented tea can be made. So you could do that too. That would have been okay. I just felt like some of the word choices were a little strange. All right, let's move on. When examining the diagram, there are various ways in which white, green, oolong, and black tea can be prepared. The first and common step is to sort and clean the fresh tea leaves. 2 more things need to be done before white tea can be made. However, 3 to 5 more processes have to be followed before green, oolong, or black tea can be served. Also, the fresh tea leaves have to be dried for the last step before any of the 4 refreshments are ready. To prepare green, oolong, or black tea, the tea leaves have to be rolled one way or the other, and both oolong and black tea requires fermentation of the leaves. On the other hand, green, black, or oolong tea have to be made before scented tea can be served. This type of tea also needs drying, but it comes before the last 2 instructions. Furthermore, it involves scenting with flowers and cooling before the tea is ready. Okay, this isn't bad. First of all, the grammar is lovely, and the vocabulary is also good. What I didn't really like is that I couldn't visualize this based on your description. You mentioned 2 stages for white tea, but you never really told us what they were. There was steaming and drying. Okay, yeah, I could pretty much figure out that drying was 1 stage because you mentioned that it was common to all 4 types. But I didn't know anything about the steaming. You also didn't mention anything about the step withering, which is common to these 3 types. At least not that I remember. Let's see, did you mention it anywhere and I just didn't see it? No, you didn't. So that's another thing that I would have liked to see here as well. I just basically felt like you left some things out. I didn't mind the way you did this. That was okay, that you said that they had to be rolled or shaped in one way or another. But yeah, you did leave this out. You left out some of this information as well. I think you could have said a couple of more things. I have a personal idea about how I like to see this flowchart. I'm not trying to imply that my way is the only way. Obviously, it is one of many ways, but usually what I do is I do what you did. So I start with sorting and cleaning, and then I get rid of white tea, okay? I just say that it has these 2 steps, steaming and drying. And then I could mention here that drying is the 1 step that is universal to the 4, or common rather, to the 4 tea types as a last stage, okay? So then, the remaining 3 tea types, green, oolong, and black tea, all share the 2nd step, which is withering, okay? After this step, I usually say that they then kind of break off into some way. So in order to make green tea leaves, you must pan fry, steam, or fire as a 3rd step. And then the 4th step can vary. Either the leaves are rolled and shaped or they are dried. And then you're done with that. Then I talk about oolong and black together. And I say that they share a similar 3rd step, which is the rolling. However, each of them has another alternative, which is shaking for oolong and cutting for black. Both teas then then undergo fermentation. However, for oolong this is short, while for black it is full. And then I say that oolong has an additional step before drying, which is pan frying, whereas black just ends with frying. And then I do pretty much what you did with the scented tea. So that's how I like to see this. This is how I would do it if I were going to write it. Again, it's just to give you some suggestions on how else this could be done. Like I said, a lot of your grammar was great. A lot of your vocabulary was great. But I do feel like you left out some information. All right, let's move on now to this task 2. These days, many governments are encouraging businesses, ES, to transfer from big cities to smaller local areas. I firmly believe that this shift brings many benefits and drawbacks to the companies and their consumers. This essay will use examples from both Oxford University and the UAE Consumer Council to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, that's fine. Okay, firstly, the major benefits of companies moving to regional areas are that there will be less harm to human health and that the economy of the businesses will be positively affected. There are a number of industries that depend on factories to manufacture products. However, these plants emit large amounts of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, which can cause lung cancer. By moving to regional areas, this risk is lowered. All right, can you tell me why? Most recently, a large number of corporations have moved to the outskirts of Abu Dhabi, as it reduces the chance of developing lung cancer by 47%. In addition, the moving companies will be able to save money when in regional areas. The popularity of places such as London and Tokyo have caused inflation, has caused inflation in land prices, and many companies require acres of land to run their business. By moving to the outside areas, the prices for purchasing both land and used factories are lower, which leads to greater savings. Research by Oxford University has shown moving to the outside of the outskirts is the right word here. The outskirts of a city leads to an improvement in the financial status of a company by 36%. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that the benefits of companies moving to regional areas include a positive development in both human health and the economic state of a business. Very nice. Very good. You decided to use 2 statistics. I think 1 would have been enough. So absolutely support all of your main ideas. You did that here, but I think it's effective if you decide to use just 1 statistic rather than using it for both of your ideas, okay? Instead, I thought you could have developed this a little better, so talking to us about why this happens, okay? Let's move on. On the other hand, the drawbacks of pushing companies to regional areas include lower quality of goods and increased prices of products for consumers. There are many businesses around the world that depend on other corporations to build specific parts for them. When a company is located in large cities, these components are easily available. However, when moving to regional areas, it becomes harder to access, you don't need this ES, the products as it becomes too far to travel. So, many firms decide to use cheaper items in their final unit to eliminate the cost of traveling. This leads to lower quality goods being provided to the customer, which may break or not work in the future. Careful, because this which, it's as if you're talking about the customer breaking or not working. Okay, so instead you could have said, this leads to providing the customer with lower quality goods, which might break or not work in the future. Research conducted by the UAE Consumer Council has shown that 82% of companies that have moved away from the large cities in the UAE are producing lower and cheaper standards of items. Furthermore, the cost of an item can increase significantly. Many individuals have observed that the price of a product differs between 2 shops located in 2 areas. The central reason for this is the different transportation costs between the 2 stores. When moving to regional areas, the cost of transporting the goods will increase as more petrol is used, meaning that the price for the same substance will rise. A report by the same council has shown that the prices of all items in Lulu increased by 50% when they move their factories and storage centers outside of Dubai. Consequently, it is possible to say beyond doubt that companies transferring to regional areas also have disadvantages such as rising ING prices and lower class of items. I don't know about that word classes. Lower quality of items, I think would have been better here. From the arguments and examples given, I believe that the advantages of moving companies to regional areas include benefits to human health and the business economy, but it can lead to expensive and cheap quality products for the consumer. Okay. This was good. This was very good. It was long, actually. I want to see how long it is. It's got to be over 600 words, right? Oh, close. 576 words. Very good, but very developed. So I have no complaints about that. However, like I said, I thought that you went a little too heavy with some of these statistics. I thought you could have done a little less with those. You had so much development that really not including at least one of them would have been fine. I want to make sure this is taking you under 40 minutes. I hope it is, because this really is, as you know, more than twice what you need to write. So, very nice job. You're doing really well. I think your exam is coming this Saturday. Well, you're definitely ready. So I want to wish you lots of luck. Do let us know how you do. Let us know about your results. We're really excited and looking forward to hearing about your success. Okay, so best of luck to you.